And we just finished up with the late qualifiers. And qualifying is now finished. We're about ready to go heat race action for the night for the Labor Day Championships. Welcome to Columbus Motor Speedway. I'm Nate Pennington. And I'd like to thank you for buying this Penstroke Productions at the Track videotape. And with no further ado, I'm going to turn things over to my buddy Jeff Knuckles over there in the tower for the call of the races. Bob Neubauer will have the winner's circle interviews later, and then come feature time, I will be back with some in-car camera stuff. So we will continue on now with the heat race action, starting with the Limited Sportsman.
The Limited Sportsman Trophy Dash, the first event here this evening, your fastest four. Limited Sportsman qualifiers. They'll start like this. Dave Ritchie Jr. on the pole alongside Tom Jones in 77. Jerry Buck in 01, your feature winner a week ago. And on the tail, 93, Jamie Hunt, your fast qualifier tonight. Fastest four qualifiers, 4 laps around the 4 mile. Battle through turn 3 and 4. Dave Ritchie will lead lap number 1. He's sideways off the full turn. Tom Jones getting up ahead of Steve, trying to track him down. Now the battle is for second between Tom Jones and Jerry Buck. We're halfway through this event. Buck takes over sole possession of the runner-up spot. Looks to the outside of Ritchie on turn 4. Buck trying that second rally so far to no avail. Here he comes once again. But your winner, Dave Ritchie Jr. Jerry Buck second. A close battle for third, given to Tom Jones. And fourth one, Jamie Hunt. Dave Ritchie Jr., let's put your hands together, make some noise. Ritchie with his first Trophy Dash victory of 1999. They're sponsored by Professional Eclipse Window Tinting and Heat Shine Body Shop. Limited Sportsman Heat event. And they'll line up a little bit like this. Dan Gregory in car for 18. He's flanked in that front row by the 6-1 car of Mark Jordan. Then we've got 51, Sam Spadero, and 50, Jeremy Dix. In row 3, that's John Stroh in 10. 20 is Mike Brown and Frank Justice in car 34. John Struggle, Mike Brown, and Frank Justice. 8 laps, the Limited Sportsman first heat race. Dan Gregory, Mark Jordan, slugging it out for that top position. Jordan now about a half car length ahead. And John takes in turn 1. Oh, and Jordan goes around. Contact groups. Hunt now leads 1298 to 1288 after qualifying, so a 10-point margin for Jamie Hunt after qualifying. Now we're ready to get back underway with the first Limited Sportsman heat race. That's John Struggle testing that lap event, not 10. So past the halfway point. Struggle again. Draws in beat on your leader, Jeremy Dennis. It's a three-car fray now on the back stretches. Mike Brown joins in. Tim Spadero still fourth. White flag, 1 lap to go. Struggle now trying to draw even. Cannot do so with Dennis. Now alongside the tail battle on turn 4. But your winner, Jeremy Dennis. Sam Spadero and Mark Jordan round out the top 5. Dennis with his 4th heat race drive from the 1999 racing campaign. Newman. Donald Parsons is in 22-14, Rick Kirkman. Car 72, Mike Keller, 45, Sean Struggle. Then in the fourth row, J.R. Groves, Pat Alltop. Then we've got 42, Bill Gussler Sr., and rounding out the field 32, Bubby Scott. Eight laps, only 4, move into tonight's Labor Day Championship feature event. Caution now on the Speedway. Jim Newman, trouble on that car 64 on the backstretch. Second, Mike Keller, third, Rick Kirkman, birthday fourth. Parsons draws on the long side of Raybach. Now pulls ahead. They'll battle on turn 4. 3 laps down the pace. And Donald Parsons, the leader. Keep in mind the top 4 finishers from this race transfer into tonight's feature event. Bubby Scott trying to move around to 5th position around J.R. Sean Struggle in car 45. Starts on the pole in car number 0, your 4th quick timer here tonight. Alongside in the 77 car, Scott deal. It's Robbie Dean. Jerry Jones is next. He'll start third in car 23. And on the tail, your fast qualifier tonight, he leads the Autoville USA Big 5 Racing Series point standings. That in the Bob Evans Camaro is Robbie Pyle. Pyle back out after about 3 weeks absence. Wanted that baby up in the feature race. When a water hose broke about 3 weeks ago, Pyle is back out in car 72. Fastest 4 qualifiers. 4 laps. Robbie Dean with a narrow advantage over Donnie Zero Hill. He will take control of the back there. Hill trying to keep up. Out on Jerry Mitchell. We'll have to wait to see if they've got that car sorted out. They had a bad misfire in front qualifying earlier. Then 31, Buddy Townsend, 86, Skip Thornton, and car number 7, Dick Dunleavy Jr.
Certified Oil, sponsor on Renter's Car. Deep Shine Body Shop, Single Marine, Joby's Tree Service, JVM Enterprises, and Central Fastener, all sponsors.
Well, Jeff, we're getting ready to go street stock style, and I have a young lady standing up here who volunteered to do it tonight. And I will let you tell the fans your name first.
Crystal Joel,
I've heard that last name before. Why?
because my husband drives car 85.
Yeah, but he's not in this race, so we'll let you announce anyway. It's a 4-car, 4-lap dash for the King of Speed for the street stock division, and we'll let you set the lineup for him.
Well, we have Bubba Carson's on the inside in 22. On the outside, we have Bo Davis in 18. And 84 on the inside is Scott Varney. On the outside is Donnie Townsend in 77.
Okay, let's get this straight. You got What do you mean, Vern Varney out there? You got Bubba Man out there, and Beauregard. I can't think of anything bad to call Townsend, so we'll lay off of him.
He's a prize fighter. You better not call him anything bad.
Yeah, But 4 cars, 4 laps. Here we go, getting ready. And do you know if you do a real good job of this, you could like make more money than your husband does racing?
That's okay. I'd rather just stick to what I'm doing right now.
Well, this may be the final time in 1999 that we get to do this, and hopefully next year the tradition will continue. But we're set to go as Bubba Man takes him down in the back straightaway. And Bo Davis right on the outside, 2x2. Door handle to door handle, wheel to wheel. Crystal, it's all yours.
Well, kind of looks like maybe Donald or Bubba might win this one. Bo's definitely going to give a run for his money for it. Really tight. Come on, Bubba. Yeah, still 4. Back on 5. Alright. Yep, halfway. I don't think Davis is going to be able to pull this one. Yeah. One more to go. Come on, Bubba. Oh, Townsend dropped out. He must be. Yeah, come on, Parsons. Yes! Going in. Barney in 3rd.
No, Bubba Man, that's like you were kind of a quiet announcer, you know that? She was a little bit shy doing that, wasn't she? And all you need was a few more beers, I understand. Well, as he comes down to pick up the checkered flag, ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause? Put your hands together, the Bubba Man, Bubba Parsons. And Crystal, on behalf of our friends at Bob Evans, there's a bottle of wildflower barbecue sauce, but you can't take it to bits because it's glass.
Oh, okay. I'll put it in the truck.
Hey, I got to ask one more question here, Jeff, before we go on. I found a very interesting thing. Which color Skittles are better, the orange ones or the green ones? She knows what she's talking about. Orange Skittles are the best, man. Bubba Parsons, your winner, Jeff. Back up there for you.
Starting first, that tonight driven by Jim McCauley, then Robert Jewell. Make that, Robert Jewell, Phil Gessler Jr., and let's see, Don Hill Sr., Doug Kinks in 99, John Beverly, Dave Dysinger, and Danny Brown complete the field for tonight's first straight stock heat race. Slips inside of Jimmy McCauley. Eddie Hill runs 3rd. And we got trouble. Hello. In turn 2. That'll bring out the red flag. Steps on the gas, off of turn 4, Beverly drags him down the front stretch. Putting the pressure on Heavy Brown go at it for 4th position, 3rd and 4th. We're halfway through this 8-lap. On the lead duo. Beverly edges ahead ever so slightly. Still close competition for the win. The white flag, 1 lap to go. John Beverly ahead. He leads down the backstretch. And your winner, John Beverly. Heavy Hill 2nd, 3rd. Danny Brown 4th. And 99. Doug King. Sean McNeely starts first. Alongside in the 88 is Bruce Holmes. Kevin Lococo and Gary Lamer make up the 2nd row. Chris Meyer, Carl Katz, Mike Litchfield, and John Sadinsky round out the field in this 2nd 8-lap street stock heat race. We're going to get down to it right now. That car moving, so we stay green. Your leader is still Sean McNeely. Lococo 2nd, Chris Meyer 3rd. Holds down that top spot. 5 laps this time. McNeely with 1 previous heat race triumph here at the Columbus Motor Speedway. Kevin Lococo trying to change that, or make that actually trying to keep it the same. That sheet time the white flag. And your winner, well, they better not speak too soon, Kevin Lococo. Running gets away from Sean McNeely. He loses the lead out of turn 4. Kevin Lococo, the winner. Street stock last chance race. Bobby Porter in 55, 53. Ron McManus, 66. John Morgan, 68. Larry Cawley, 42 is Mike McConaughey. Then comes the 10th car, Russ Harper. Kevin Moore in 20 and 0. Chuck Drum. 8 laps for transfer. Car cluster. Porter will lead lap 1. Ron McManus and John Morgan contend for the runner-up spot. Currently fourth is Mike McConaughey. That's your final transfer car. And we got red flag. Now in the street stock last chance race, 8 laps of distance. Top 4 competitors earn a spot in the Labor Day Championship feature event. Bobby Porter brings it back to green. John Morgan again looks to the outside of town. McManus continues to hold down the 3rd spot. Mike McConaughey is in 42. He is 4th at this juncture. Side-by-side battle for the lead now. Trouble with Morgenstern. He's off the pace. Meantime, Larry Cawley with trouble. He's out of the event. Bobby Porter out front. McManus is second. Third is John Morgan. He has now picked the pace back up. McConaughey runs fourth. 2 laps remain. White flag, 1 to go. Nearly spins once again in turns 1 and 2 to keep her under control. Here comes your winner, Bobby Porter. Second to Ron McManus. Third, John Morgan. Fourth, Mike McConaughey. Those are your 4 transfer cars. Then came Russ Harper and Kevin Moore. Bobby Porter, the winner of the Street Stock Last Chance race, will now. All right. And we will start with driver introductions tonight at the back of the pack and come forward. So the guy who starts will start back there and try to make his way toward the front. We understand a driver change in order with car number 8 tonight. Starting in the back of the pack is a driver change. He won't get a chance to make it up all this way. Former track champion Don Wetnall starting in car number 8 tonight out of Reynoldsburg, Ohio. Then also back there had trouble qualifying but nearly won his heat race from deep in the pack. Car number 6, the Ed Ziploc Mobile out of Galloway, Ohio, veteran Jerry Mitchell. Up next in car 52, one of the newcomers to the late model division here in 1999, Jerry Williams. Along with him there in that row in car 33, out of Lancaster, Ohio, Dean Fusco. Fusco in 33. Then the racing entrepreneur, he is next. In car number 26, the owner of Cantley's Racing Parts, it's Bill Cantley. A graduate of the Dwarf Cars and Limited Sportsman Division last year and earlier this year in the nation's Rent Camaro. Grove City, Ohio driver Chad Pendleton. Car number 08 is next. He is a former track champion in the Limited Sportsman Division, moving up late this season in the late models, Randy Sword. 16-year-old driver, the next competitor out of Canal, Winchester, Ohio, a graduate of quarter midget racing, as more and more of the drivers here at the Speedway are. This, speaking of more and more, is Chris Moore. The team car to the car driven by Dick Dunleavy Jr. He started out, ran some of the early season, and took some time off. Back out, now driving the car 71 tonight, Donnie Renner, also a former track champion here at Columbus Motor Speedway. Up next, the 25 car, Gary Carter. Carter at 25. Also in that row in 29, Kevin Miller. The next gentleman out of Albany, Ohio, veteran Skip Thornton in 86. Next comes the Xenia, Ohio driver, car number 91, Scott Drake. In the Ohio State Motorsports Camaro, the next gentleman in line in car 31, Buddy Townsend. Okay, where you've got the inverted cars now, the 6-car inversion, we'll go all the way to the front and come back to fast qualifier. Starting on the pole, he currently ranks 5th in the Automobile USA Big 5 Racing Series. Starting first tonight, Mike Ward. Outside of the front row, he runs 2nd in the point standings for the season and is 3rd in the Automobile USA Big 5 Racing Series out of New Carlisle, Ohio driver Dick Dunleavy Jr. Dunleavy, of course, won last Saturday night. The other contestant in that track championship battle is next. Architect Glass, the sponsor, he is 2nd in the Big 5 Racing Series for Automobile USA. Donnie Zero Hill, he starts 3rd. Outside of row number 2, he is 4th in the Automobile USA Big 5 Racing Series, the Big Bird, Robbie Dean. Row number 3, the only row left. In car number 23, the world's ugliest driver suit, Jerry Jones. I'm kidding, Jerry. And next, last but not least, he leads the Automobile USA Big 5 Racing Series. Winner, I think, of either 3 or 4 features here in 1999. The Bob Evans Camaro, it's Robbie Pyle. So,
there we go. Only fitting that the lady who does 90% of the work around here gets to do this. We turn this over to Barb Knuckles for those famous words.
First, I want to say you have a safe race. And gentlemen, start your engines.
How about it?
Pennington. Let's wave them on this time by. Everybody on your feet. The 75 lap Labor Day Championship. 1 lap will be underway. Maintains control. Again, Dean Fusco in 33 brings out the race's first caution. Chad Pennington are all on the lead lap. So 40 laps complete, 35 remain.
We're going to take a look at this one on instant replay. And if you watch, there is the Robbie Dean and Dick Dunleavy cars. And Dunleavy just trying to get around the Robbie Dean machine. I think he just ran out of track and found the concrete wall along the backstretch.
Robbie Pyle is gone to the pit area to try to affect. "52 laps are complete. Pyle obviously back out on the racetrack. Caution is out. Jerry Jones, trouble with the 23 car. I believe Kevin Miller is on the lead lap. Of course, Dunleavy and Pyle also on the lead lap. great race. 75 lap Labor Day Championship now in the books. Donnie Zero Hill, the winner. Still limited sportsman and street stock feature action headed your way. Don't forget next Saturday night, the Fall Speed Fest 7. We're headed down to Bob Neubauer for this report.
Well, Jeff, the crew talking to him here, and Donnie now trying to get the helmet off and get ready to climb on out of the Zero machine. Ladies and gentlemen, your feature winner, Donnie Zero Hill. Hey, you know, that's a way to not worry about this points thing.
Yeah, Robbie Powell had a good car. He had a little misfortune there. Probably helped me out a little bit. Everybody raced, you know, like underneath Mike Ward. He raced me clean. I appreciate that. I'd like to thank Autoville USA, Architect Glass, Nations Rent, Winner's Circle, all my crew. Everybody came out tonight. We lost a little granddaughter yesterday, and that's for her.
Hey, no problem. I know when you see somebody up in front with that big of a lead, sometimes you might want to think about, well, giving up, but that wasn't happy. You got to keep digging all the time. You never know what'll happen.
Oh, yeah, you got to keep going, You know, just because you passed a guy early in the race don't mean you ain't got a better car. We'll be back next week to try it again, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for everybody coming out. See you next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, your feature winner, Zero Hill.
Here's your top 10 rundown. Hill, the winner. Mike Ward comes home in second position. Third was Robbie Dean. Skip Thornton was fourth. Fifth place, Scott Drake in sixth position. Let's see, that was Chris Moore. Seventh was Robbie Pyle. Eighth place was Chad Pennington. Ninth, Dick Dunleavy Jr. And your 10th place finisher, Jerry Jones. Here is your lineup. Don Gregory Jr. and Scott Stevens on the front row of tonight's Limited Sportsman feature. Then comes Bob Gruball and Paul Baker Jr. And George Lindsay's in 8. 43, Mike Schweier. 25 is Jimmy Kidd. 08, Randy Swart. Dave Ritchie Jr. and John Strobel the next row. Then we've got the 01 of Jerry Buck and your fast qualifier, Jamie Hunt, Mike Brown, and I said John Strobel earlier. That was, of course, Tom Jones up there earlier. John Strobel is next. Jeremy Dennis, Frank Justice, Tom Idle at 39. 61 is Mark Jordan. 18, Dan Gregory. 22, Donald Parsons. 19 is Mark Freibach. 45, John Strobel. 42 is Phil Gussler Sr. and 72, Mike Keller. It's Incorporated and Donato's Pizza, the official pizza of Columbus Motor Speedway. And we wouldn't be able to do it without the Autoville USA and their point fund for the Autoville USA Big 5 Racing Series. 35 laps of Limited Sportsman feature competition coming your way. Don Gregory Jr. and Scott Stevens make up the front row. Stevens third. And now Grubel underneath Don Gregory Jr. He takes over the lead. To be Frank Justice in car 34. Also involved back there, Mark Freibach. Pontiac Cadillac GMC Fox Bonding Company, Sizzle Marine, JVM Enterprises, the winner, Don Gregory Jr.
But the traffic behind you was hot and heavy.
Yeah, I might have started up front, but that's what you got to do here, and it's the luck of the draw, and this is a one-groove racetrack, man. This is really bad. This is pathetic.
Yeah, tell Jerry Buck that.
Yep, well, there we have the pathetic win, at least for Don Gregory Jr. The guys behind him battling tough. I don't know. Somebody's got to tell Jerry Buck that, because he was doing pretty good out there in the second groove.
Yeah, so tell us how you really feel, Donnie.
And as you can tell, it's time for the street stocks. We're inside with John Beverly with our in-car camera. Special thanks to John Beverly, All City Auto Wrecking, and Priority Motorsports for supplying this video to us that we can use here, and we've used almost every week since mid-season. Inside row number 1 on the pole is Kevin Lococo in the 3 car. Outside of him is the 34 of Gary Lamer. Inside row number 2 is the 61 of Chris Meyer, and outside of him the 46 of Carl Katz. Row number 3 is the 95 of Mike Litchfield inside, and the 87 of John Sedinsky. Row number 4 is car number 22. That's Bubba Parsons, and the 18 of Bo Davis outside of him. Row number 5, car number 84, Scott Varney, and the 77 of Don Townsend Jr. Row number 6, car number 88, Bruce Holmes, and the 6 of Sean McNeely. Inside row number 7 is the 21 of Dan Brown, and flanking him, the 39, our in-car camera, John Beverly. And I hit the button too quick. Let me go back. In row number 8, car number 99, Doug King, and the 85 of Bob Jewell. Row number 9, car number 55, Bobby Porter, and the 53 of Ron McManus. And in row number 10, car number 66, that's driven tonight by John Morgan, and the 42 of Mike McConaughey outside of him. Row number 11 is the 10 of Russ Harper, and the 24 of Kevin Moore. And out back, all by himself in row number 12, Don Heavy Hill Sr. in the number 7 machine. Flag flies, and we are in car with John Beverly. Well, back in the pack as we see a big group of cars up there. We got a lot of work to do if we're going to get up there and battle with the leaders. We see the Sean McNeely machine, car number 6, right in front of us. To the inside of us, now getting around the outside is the 99. That's Doug King this week. In the 99 machine, he now takes over the spot. We continue to ride with John Beverly, car number 39. Oh, and contact between Sean McNeely and the 99 of Doug King. Oh, and almost contact between Sean McNeely and John Beverly. And I believe that will bring out a red flag. Or maybe not. Yes, red flag is out.
Coco down there. He is off the racing surface. That'll move car 84 up to third spot. Dance is fourth and 46, and then comes Don Counts Jr.
Opinion is there are people out here at this track that take this racing just a little bit too seriously. But at any rate, John Beverly in-car camera. We're still looking at the rear bumper. I believe that's the 21 of Danny Brown. And we got one spinning down the backstretch. That's the Gary Lamer, car number 34. A lot of fluid on the backstretch. That will bring out a red flag.
Smoke from the car 34 of Gary Lamer. And again, it's concerned about fluid on the speedway over there. And seeing rapid loss of fluid on the speedway. Don Townsend Jr.
Cockpit with John Beverly at the controls. We're running an 8th spot. Good run for the John Beverly machine. We're right behind Dan Brown. Right in front of Dan Brown is the 88 of Bruce Holmes, and you see Carl Katz up there a little bit farther up as these drivers continue to do battle out here on the 3rd mile bull ring known as Columbus Motor Speedway as the laps continue to run away. John Beverly moving to the high side now. And the 6 of Sean McNeely gets underneath. That for 8th position. We're back to 9th.
Townsend now draws even with Barney for 3rd position.
And as Don Townsend Jr. takes over second spot from Bubba Parsons, we're back inside watching this battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th. You see Sean McNeely looking to the inside of Dan Brown down the front stretch. Can't quite get the job done though. And still taking a look, peeking inside, but Dan Brown holding on to that inside groove. And now Sean McNeely looking underneath. He might have him. As Dan Brown slips a little wide in turns 1 and 2. Sean McNeely takes over the 7th spot. And now John Beverly be the next to try the 21. Dan Brown slams on the brake as Dan Brown slams the door over there in turn 3. Once again, looking underneath in turns 1 and 2, and John Beverly takes over the 8th spot. And, excuse me, Dan Brown takes it back.
John McNeely. Unofficially entering the final event of the season next Saturday night.
Feature event winner, street stock style tonight, Chris Meyer coming out of the car. And Chris, number 2, it wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't. I knew Parsons was back there, and I kept waiting and waiting and waiting. I figured I'd see him on the outside of me, and never did. And I got to apologize to Kevin Lococo. I did drive in kind of hard on him. I tried to slow it down. I couldn't. So I got to apologize to him. But I got to thank all my sponsors. All City Auto Wrecking, P&B Auto Parts, Hans Corporation, Snap-on Tools, Bosco Express, Pathfinder Distribution, and Rocky Fork Company. And I got to thank my dad, because without him, we'd probably be out to lunch.
Hey, I understand. A lot of us are that way with dads. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, how about a big round of applause for your feature winner, Chris Meyer. Jeff, we'll let you wrap it up.
All right, so the Labor Day Championship in the record books, by the way.